What's up, Video City? It's your girl Bree standing outside the Producers Club. It is freezing tonight, but here we have my girls Jewelz and Asia and Bray. Video City, take it away.
Hey guys, we are back at the Producers Club, and I have two people tonight that I'm going to interview. We have Asia, fashion designer from Long Island, and we have Ray, an event producer from Brooklyn. Introduce yourselves real quick. Anything you want to say before we get started?
Not really much, but as she said, my name is Asia. I'm the CEO and creative director of Grizel New York, and I created something called the Ghetto Gallery, and my partner Ray.
How you doing? I'm Ray Dollar Thompson. I'm the CEO of Dbold Records Entertainment, which is an event production company. We focus on management, brand building, things of that sort.
Okay, cool. So I wanted to speak to Asia about, you guys know I'm a model as well, besides hosting for Video City. So when she told me she was a fashion designer, I immediately was like, okay, what kind of line do you have? Because I myself am a brand ambassador, and I know she's getting into the brand ambassador space because she's new. She doesn't have any yet. But if people did want to work with your company, what kind of company are you, and what kind of vibe do you set for your customers?
I said like a lifestyle. So my brand is streetwear, but I would really, it's like on the upscale side. So it's like luxury. You get what I'm saying? Everything is cut and sewn. I don't do aftermarket, or I don't,
Basically, you're not gonna get a piece where you know that another brand had it and all she did was just rework it, put her own style in it. You're getting something that's custom. Like, you're getting something that she put her heart and soul into, and she wants you to wear it, feel like the luxurious person that you are. So
I have a slogan that says, you should feel as good as you look. So I make sure my garments are quality pieces, and I make sure that they feel good. Right.
This jacket right here that she's wearing, I did get to feel it. It's got like a corduroy feel to it, but it's got like a stylish bomber, like.
Yeah, I call it the baseball teddy jacket. As you can see, well, this is my Black History Month one, so everything is all black. I have baseball stitching right here in the back. It says Grizel Baseball League in all black. I finished it with green because it embodies power and excellence, and that's what Black History Month is all about. So I just wanted to do something for the culture.
Okay. Tell me about the event that you had. I believe you said Ghetto Gallery. So when did you have this event?
I had the first one November 13th. Basically, I wanted to get a lot of creatives together and formulate something for the culture. I feel like the world don't work without black creativity. So I felt like I should bring in a bunch of photographers, painters, models, and myself, which is a fashion brand or a fashion director. And basically we came together and we curated like a gallery. It's like a gallery, it's an art exhibit, but I had a fashion show. It was also a pop-up too, so you were able to buy my pieces. I had exclusive pieces there that was just sold for the event, and it was really dope. It was a dope turnout. After I had the event, Ray saw it, and he was just like, yo, that's fire. We can definitely take it to the next level. I've been to a bunch of his events, so I already knew. Like, when he came to me, I'm like, I can't wait. And it might seem crazy to do an event in November and then do one in January. And we made it work, and it came out so fire, and I can only imagine what's going to happen when we have the time to create another one.
Okay, Ray. So we kind of touched on you a little bit with producing this event, but I know you told me you work mainly with artists, not music artists, but like actual painters and things like that. So what role did you have in setting up the second event, and what kind of events do you usually throw?
Okay, so I started working with artists like rappers and stuff like that, but I feel like art is a part of our culture, but it's something that kind of got pushed away, or people think, I don't know, they just look at it a little different. So we have fashion icons, we have music moguls, but I think the artistic side, as far as the painters, is, I don't know, we just kind of forgot about it as a culture. So I wanted to bring that back in and embody it as a full, as a whole. So far as myself, I saw what Asia was doing. Like she said, she came to my previous art shows or whatever. I love her brand. That's the first thing. It's super duper dope. I loved it. And with me and my company, I just like working with hard-working, dedicated creatives. And what I try to embody is just coming on board and just maximizing the growth potential with any creative that I work with. So I saw her vision. I see she's super duper dope. And I'm like, you know what? I could add a little bit of salt and pepper to what you're already doing.
I got the razzle, I got the dazzle, you know? We're gonna...
And I'm not gonna lie, it worked. We literally put this together in a month, and we only had 2 weeks of promo. And if you were there, she was super duper nervous. I'm like, yo, Asia, because I've done events before.
We got a week and a half. We need to put this out. He's like, just relax, and I'm like, I can't. So
I'm like, Asia, trust me. She's like, I can't trust you.
I can't trust nobody.
I'm like, nah, trust me. We made it happen, and honestly, the aesthetics for me, honestly, I've done probably about 7 art shows prior to this. But this, so I started in California. Okay. I'm from Brooklyn though, but I didn't. I'm on my 5th annual one this year. It's March 5th, by the way. But we started in California. I did this Biggie inspired art show in California, and it's just been growing ever since. I did 2 shows in LA. I started off, and then I came back home and just wanted to give home back that same feel. Yeah, I tried. Yeah, so I've done it. It was a trial and error part for me with just event productions, even working in the art space, because it's something I wasn't too familiar with. But when I worked with Asia, I'm not gonna lie, it was like, I don't know if it's because we just mesh and we vibe so much, the creativity, it was just natural, and it actually was honestly my best work that I've done even with someone. So I appreciate the collab.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a fan of Ray's work. I almost been to, if he had, you had 2 in LA and 3, I went to all of his art shows. Everyone was immaculate. I loved everything down to he had live tattoo artists there. Oh. Everything, the aesthetics was pleasing. He had a bunch of influences in there. So it's really a vibe. Exactly. So when I did see Ray's, and I was, like I mentioned earlier, I asked him to help me because I know that's what his event, that's what his production company do. They help elevate, like he said, brands and other creatives. So when I asked him to help me, I'm like, oh, this would be dope. When I had to do it by myself, it showed that I had something in me. You get what I'm saying? That I can also take off that hat and put on another one. And he saw that, and I feel like, exactly. And I feel like when he saw that, it was easier for him to be like, okay, I'm going to just take the initiative and put myself in this situation and help you evolve. And I really do appreciate that as well.
Okay, Ray, now let me hear about a little bump in the road that you had to overcome, and you know.
So, for myself, just how I even started or came about even going into the art space, my cousin, he's actually a painter. And he came to me and basically was telling me like, hey, this art world is just different. Like, I'm trying to get my stuff out. It's hard and things like that. Mind you, this was about 5-6 years ago. I never even been to an art show, an art gallery at the time. So I just gave him just good big cousin advice. Like, hey, I don't get opportunities. I create the opportunities. So you have to kick in some doors. So he took that advice. He actually invited me to a show that he was in. It was a Drake-inspired show. I went to that show just to be a supportive big cousin, and I fell in love with art at that very moment. The girl who actually put it together, her name is Brianni T. She's super duper dope. And how she put it together, not only did it inspire me to get into art, but she created a vibe. And it's such a small world that we just had so many other connections. And I tapped in with her. Honestly, she's just been actually extremely helpful, whatever I needed with that. So shout out to Brianni T. She's super duper dope. And so I did this art show. I'm a huge Biggie fan. So I'm in LA, and I'm like, hey, it's March 9th. I'm in LA. We driving around. It's me and my homegirl, and we like, yo, there's nothing going on. They're not playing big on the on the radio. There's nothing going on. I'm like, I didn't like it. I'm going to be real with you. I was mad because I grew up on Big. Big is my uncle in my eyes, right? So I'm like, I got to do something for Big in LA. Like, I got to put on for Brooklyn, basically. And it took me a whole year later to actually put the show together. But I actually just started this to, Actually, once I tapped into the art world, I realized that a bunch of other artists and creators were having the same problems that my cousins were having. Basically, like getting themselves out there. Most creatives, all they want to do is just work on their craft. They don't want to. You don't want to deal with that. You get what I'm saying? And me being a fan of that, but it's the biggest part. Is the marketing part. So with myself, I wanted to be that representation. Like, you know what? I'm not in it for nothing. So what I did was I created a platform, which was my first art show, and I named it Think Big Art Show. I was inspired from Biggie, and it was a Biggie-themed art show. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give these creatives a platform to display. I'm not going to take any money from them. Whatever they sell, they keep the money, and we're just going to do it together. So that's really what my company embodies. I just want to work with creatives, dope people, and I think two is better than one. So if she's dope and I'm dope and we do it together, look what we come up with. Ghetto Gallery was a huge success, but I couldn't do it without her. You get what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been to that magnitude because what she brought to the table and what I brought to the table made a cabal of success, you know? So again, I appreciate the collab. It was super duper amazing.
And just to give advice to creatives, market your vision. Don't market what you see other people doing. Market your vision. Don't follow trends, set trends. Don't do things for the now. Do things for longevity. Do things to be legend. Things that's gonna last. Like he said, be innovative. You gotta do legendary things. You gotta do things that's gonna last even when you're not here. And just make sure you create a lifestyle. Do things that people want to be a part of. A lifestyle. Everybody want, people do hire people to teach them how to live and how to walk, how to talk. You create that with your brand, whether it's art, whether it's photography, whether it's modeling. Somebody might want to sit like you, look like you, and it's definitely fashion. Create a lifestyle.
It's like lifestyle coaching.
Exactly.
That's basically why I even wanted to work with her, and what I admired about her is the fact that she embodies that. I feel like we are the creatives and we are the consumers, so we set the trends. We don't have to follow the trends, So I admired that, and that's what made it work. You get what I'm saying? We work beautiful together because she has that energy, and I thrive off of that energy. Like, I don't have to say, Asia, this is dope. Yeah, it's like she's super duper dope with that. Like, she had her vision, and I'm like, all right, look. We can add this, we can add that, and she trusted me to felicitate that vision.
Sure did.
It's great that
I don't trust nobody,
and at least you were able to deliver it.
Yes, like I want to choke Ray up, but
she's a tough cookie. She's a tough cookie, man. I was like, oh my God.
Well, I'm excited. I need to definitely check out whatever videos you have of the Ghetto Gallery so that way I can know what I'm looking forward to for the next one.
That'll come to my next one. March 5th, I'm doing...
March 5th?
Yeah, March 5th, I'm doing my 5th annual Think Big art show. It's a big inspired art show. It's the 25th memorial anniversary of Big's passing. It's going to be in Brooklyn. We're doing it super big. Come out. It's a vibe. It's not your typical art show. It's not typical. So come out.
Like I mentioned before, definitely not. I've been to every one that was in Brooklyn this far, and I'm gonna continue to come. I'm going to all sections. I'm gonna be there.
Going to it
and you guys definitely should come out though. That was a dope.
I would love to. So this was dope at the Producers Club with you guys. We have Asia and Ray, and you all will see me at the next show. I'm gonna make sure I put it on my calendar, and I'm gonna really try my best to be there. So keep me updated. I'm gonna turn my notifications on for you guys on Instagram, as should you. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
It's real major right now. It's real crazy right now.
Well, income to the thing them call this lovely art, this blessing we never part. Me tell you say Isis, QTG and Top Diamond. Come sing for them eyes. Yeah.
Boy, you make me holler, boy, you make me sweat. I can get ya your tenderness. Still I can't get you off my mind.
I still love you, lovely love.
No, we still got love.
You know I'm still in love.
It's true, boy.
Well, I'm a diva and I know for this a love we never suffer. That's the way I give my love.
No, we still got love.
You know I'm still in love.
It's true, boy.
I know you try to understand that I'm your one and only one. That's the lovely, lovely love. Yes, baby.
No, we still got love. It's true, boy.
Well, I'm a diva and I know for this a love we never suffer. That's the way I give my love. Baby.
No, we still got love.
What a woman got to do to get to you, boy. Baby, you know me love you from the start. Love you from my heart. Whether I'm morning or noon, this a love we never part. Make me feel like I win. Rub me legs till me shiver. Cause you know me, I one and only pretty little sinner. Not for brag, me not for talk. This a love you give me, know me not for look another one. Baby, baby, cause you know me, I one and only one. Make me tell you this, baby. Now. I miss it.
No, we still got love.
You know I'm still in love.
It's true, boy.
Well, I'm a diva and I know for this a love we never suffer. That's the way I give my love. Sing again.
No, we still got love.
You know I'm still in love.
It's true, boy.
I know you try to understand that I'm your one and only one. That's the lovely, lovely love.
No, we still got love. It's true, boy.
Well, I'm a diva and I know for this a love we never suffer. That's the way I give my love.
No, we still got love.
What a woman got to do to get to you, boy. QTG.
It's the way you walk and the way you talk, can't get enough. Ever said I hate you, then you know that it's some bluff. Girl, I'm addicted, got me twisted. And the loving that you giving me is wicked. You got an issue, you can call on me. I give you loving anytime you need.
Love me, baby. You know just how to love me. And just how to caress me.
And when you get this little love, you never got.
I get just why.
Baby boy, baby boy, baby boy.
You love me, baby.
The lovely, lovely love.
No, we still got love.
Yes, you know I'm still in love.
It's true, boy.
Well, I'm a diva and I love her. This a love we never suffer. That's the way I give my love.
No, we still got love.
You know I'm still in love.
It's true, boy.
I know you try to understand that I'm your one and only one. That's the lovely, lovely love.
No, we still got love.
Baby.
It's true, boy.
Well, I'm a diva and I love her. This a love we never suffer. That's the way I give my love.
No, we still got love.
You know I'm still in love. What a woman got to do to get to you. It's true, it's true. We are gonna do it for you one more time. Now. Yaga, now. Yeah. Isis, yeah. QTG, yeah. On top diamond. Now.
All right, Video City, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Up next, we have an author. Here is Kahlil Martin and my girl, Jewelz. Video City, take it away.
Hey everyone, we are closing out at the Producers Club with, last but not least, Kahlil Martin. And he is actually from Harlem. Harlem, yeah.
Yes, Harlem, New York.
Welcome. We are going to talk about his new book, actually called Sleeping with the Enemy. So this is an exclusive Video City interview. The book just dropped 3 weeks ago. So tell me a little bit about what we are going to be getting inside this book right here.
So my book is an autobiography about my life. I am from Cleveland, Ohio, but I came here to New York when I was 15 to audition for the Joffrey Ballet. From the Joffrey Ballet, it goes on and on to success story after success story. But there's ups and downs in my life that are so hard to bear, but somehow I bared it through, you know. And I think that the struggle of life is so learning. There's so many learning lessons you can learn from every experience. But my book I wrote because I wanted to help others, because I had such a hard time in life growing up. But I was blessed so many times because everything that I didn't have was always sent to me, whether that was people But the enemy could be myself or other people. So the title of the book, Sleeping with the Enemy, could be a lot of different things.
I want to touch on, you said you came to New York for ballet,
Yes.
right? How long have you been doing ballet?
I started ballet at 7 years old, and I danced ballet until I was 24. Yes. And then during that time, I would walk down the streets of New York and get cast for modeling gigs. I was in videos. I've been in Robin S.'s video, Show Me Love. I toured with Cece Peniston, background dancer for her. I used to do this event called Wigstock, and I would perform that for them yearly. Yeah. I think my biggest thing that happened here in New York, because this is a New York story too, is working for the Tunnel. And I work for a man called Peter Gation. And Tunnel, if people don't understand, it was a place that you went to, and he actually created a space for hip-hop. And back in those days, hip-hop was only in Brooklyn. But now here comes this gigantic space over in Manhattan. It was on 27th and 12th. And we had white people protesting to get black people out. And he fought to keep this club open. And I was part of that because I worked personally for him as a promoter. I had 2,000 people on my list per week. Yeah, so I have a lot of New York history here and a lot of struggle. So with the struggle, there's pain. With the struggle, there's growth. With the struggle, there's rise. I'm always pushing forward. I'm one of those people that promote you to go forward, to go better, to be better. Absolutely. There's no I lose. It's always let's win. There's no other option.
No other option but winning. What stuck out to me so far was that you moved to New York at 16.
Yes.
You moved here by yourself?
I did. So I had no supervision. My parents were drug addicts, and I did everything on my own. I forged my mother's name at 15 years old to get a job. I saved the money myself. I worked, and I came to New York.
Okay. I want to know, because we have a little similarity here with us both being what I call forced ripe.
That's right.
Forced ripe, meaning you're out on your own at such a young age and you have to be the adult before it is actually your time to be the adult.
Absolutely.
And at 16, there's a different level of maturity than when you started ending ballet at like 24. How did you navigate the challenges of being an adult and providing for yourself at that age in this crazy city?
Okay, so I account all the discipline of ballet. Being a ballet dancer means you give up your childhood. You are forced to work hard, look at yourself every day in the mirror, tell everyone telling you that you're not good enough. I'm working in the whitest industry on the planet. Just recently have black people started to make moves in white companies and become principal dancers like Misty Copeland and Calvin Coolidge. Before that, there was black people in the company, very few, but I was able to make it through. I was very good at 7 in order to make it into Cleveland School of the Arts and then Cleveland Ballet, then Joffrey Ballet. Huge accomplishments, like huge, work hard. I did not do parties. I didn't go hang out. No, I didn't hang out. There's no boyfriend, girlfriend. There was none of that. It was work hard because this is the only option you have. Get out of the projects. When I saw a commercial on TV with kings and castles and all that, I'm like, I want that. And this is how I'm going to get it. And this is how I'm going to get there. And that was the ballet. So that's what I did. So it's the working hard. The ethic that I grew up with is part of my character. I don't know how to just sit idle and not create and be better and whatever. So my production company we now do is fashion. We do private events for fashion shows, fashion shoots. I just did one for my sister. For both of her kids, I did a fashion shoot for them, which is a huge ordeal for her and the kids. But I work with a lot of designers, big designers. I work with a lot of very powerful people. I can't really call out their names, but in the basis, if you learn more about me, you'll see it's public. Absolutely. Everything is in this book. So it's from the top to the bottom, We really have to talk here also about family secrets. Family secrets are one of the reasons that keeps us back, especially in the black culture. It's a very big thing to have a secret, that the younger generation doesn't know about. You can have an uncle and they be like, okay, that's your father. What? That's my father. Like, what are you talking about? I thought that was my uncle. Or an uncle that's not your uncle. That's in your family. And what is he doing in your family? Let's talk about it. It's in Sleeping with the Enemy, the Kahlil Martin story.
Yeah, I feel like this book is gonna be so helpful for people who feel like they've lost their way and are finding their way, especially who have been either forced to be out on their own early, or they chose to be out on their own early. It sounds like maybe you were forced to be out on your own early, whereas I chose to be.
Yeah.
But just finding discipline and perseverance in something
Yeah.
and making a mark in an industry where you feel like you don't belong in.
Yeah.
I feel like that's important as well.
It's very important. So being in a white ballet company and auditioning for Harlem Ballet, I really wanted to be with them. But for some reason, I had so many triggers. I was abused. And I grew up in a black community and in projects, and I was super poor. So just the trigger of being around that many people of color was bothering me. I'm the blackest, let's go, black guy on the planet today, but as a child, that was not okay for me. I was afraid.
Because you felt like you couldn't. You probably felt like you couldn't express those things about yourself being in the company that you were in.
Well, being a ballet dancer itself is an elite thing, you know, and going through abuse as a child by people of your own color, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to move forward and feel trust, you know, but I had to find that peace with myself very quickly, you know, because being lost in a white world, you have to identify as a black person immediately, you know, because you got to get that respect.
Personal side note is I until college I grew up in all white neighborhoods.
Yes.
So I understand exactly what you're talking about, because I wasn't allowed. My mom didn't allow me to. My mom is Guyanese. I wasn't allowed to have braids in my hair.
Right.
I wasn't allowed to come to school or go out with certain brands on. I wasn't allowed to listen to certain music in the house.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're molded into a character
And it's
at a young age, and you're trying to learn how to be that character, but find yourself at the same time.
Absolutely.
So you go through a lot of identity crisis.
Absolutely.
You feel like you went through a lot of identity
I went
crisis.
through a lot of identity crisis, and there's a lot of different versions of me in this book. But each version of me was so powerful to help me move to the next level. So this is all about moving to the next level and rising above every standard and saying there's no impossibility for yourself. Win. Be the best. Be great. Be excellent. You're fabulous. You're beautiful just as you are.
Guys, it's powerful. So I do think that you guys should get a copy of this book, obviously. Not just because the author is here, but because now that I'm finding out the stories that are inside of it, I think it's going to be a powerful read for a lot of people who are finding themselves and also trying to make a name for themselves in the town that they do not belong to, or in an industry they feel like they don't fit into.
All right, Video City, I'm done for the night. It was such a pleasure. Make sure you guys check back next week. Remember, we're #1 because the street says so. Video City, take it away.